Hey, Big Brother Channel surfers. It is Ava's world, and we are living in it this week with her as HOH. We're going to see her running this game. She showed us last week that she's going to let you talk if she wants you to talk. She's going to take your opinion if she wants your opinion. We're probably going to see auras, butterflies, disco balls,
tie-dye,
blossom hats. But you know what we probably won't see? A weenie game. Let's watch.
Reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
So Ava is giving Karma over to the universe. She is making a big move, trying to see how the universe responds. She's up in her HOH room with Will. All of a sudden, she sees Zach coming up. Zach isn't happy because she gave him a thumbs up and said he was going to be safe. You know what, Zach, you're probably just a pawn. Hasn't every pawn been promised safety this season? So what do you think about Will hiding in the HOH bathroom?
I thought it was hilarious. I don't know why he did it. I mean, he did say because he's the one who threw Zach on the block to Ava, but
people don't realize that Will and Ava are as close.
Maybe not.
I was thinking the same thing. And when he went in there,
well, and then
Zach doesn't have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and come to think of it, she said no one-on-ones. So if he's caught up there with her on a 101, that would look suspicious.
Now, Zach does have that $10,000 power, but he says he's not wanting to use it to give to Ava since she blindsided him. Maybe if you are on the block, it might be smart to buy your way off instead of holding on to $10,000 and risking $750.
The other thing is, whoever puts you up is not going to be your friend. You're probably not going to like them anyway. So why would you give them $10,000? That's the logic you're going to use. You're never going to use that $10,000 then to get yourself off the block because you don't care for the person.
Yeah, I guess he's expecting it to go to his buddy who puts him on the block. I tried to map out the alliances earlier, and there are just so many of them that I can't. It's just too confusing. And I halfway forgot that Zach, Vinny, Morgan, and Mickey have a final four. So Morgan and Mickey now have half of that alliance on the block. Mickey is close to Ava, and Morgan's questioning whether or not she had a hand in putting Zach and Vinny up. I don't think Morgan trusts Mickey.
Well, I don't think a lot of people were going to trust Mickey after Mickey's HOH. Even on Big Brother Unblocked, they thought that her putting Jimmy up was a bad move. I mean, eventually, I could see where Morgan wouldn't be trusting her. However, it was coming across as if Mickey wasn't trusting Morgan and not giving her any information. So I was kind of confused with that.
But Mickey and Morgan both were going behind Jimmy's back before he went up and left. They both had questions about him. They kept secrets from him. They both had questioned the week before whether or not they're even moving forward with him. I thought that she would be in trouble for that move, though. I think you said that she would be just fine, but
yeah,
that they've got to move past it and stick with their numbers. Morgan's not the only one with questions. Zach and Vinny are also questioning Mickey because apparently out of the four of them, Mickey was the only one to talk to Ava. So they're wondering, did she have a hand in putting up Zach and Vinny? Why would she do that, though? She definitely tried to keep Ashley safe above Zach and Vinny, but she wasn't gunning for Zach and Vinny.
Well, it just seems strange that she wants to protect the one person, but three people in her alliance now she's turning her back on. And if you want to say four, that would be Jimmy from last week. It doesn't make any sense.
I guess she just feels like she has a stronger alliance with Ashley and Rachel and Ava, that they're all kind of together. I don't think they're an official alliance, but they're working together.
No, how is Rachel working with her? Because Rachel's mad that she sent Jimmy home.
There's just so many alliances. Like, they were all kind of on the same side of the vote. At least the temperature is cool right now between Mickey, Zach, Morgan, and Vinny. Even though Ava didn't want one-on-ones last week, she certainly doesn't mind talking to everybody now that she's got them on the block. It's got some splaining to do. What did she tell Zach?
I don't remember.
She said at the time, you weren't my target. But
well, she told that to Vinny, too.
But
She's
then
told that to
changed.
Keanu. She's told it to all of them that they're not her target.
She has, but he brought it up. Zach did, and she just put it out right there and said, well, things changed. That's the end of that conversation.
Yeah.
With Vince, she was saying, you're probably not my target. Then we go to diary room, and Ava's saying, yeah, Vince is my target. And then we go to diary room, and Vince is saying, Ava, I know I'm her target. So he's not buying it. She's not selling it well. They know where they stand with each other. Keanu is playing it cool. I would feel pretty confident if I was Keanu right now. He's won 3 vetoes in a row. And he and Ava agree, let's just have a clear slate moving forward. There's no bad blood. She hasn't fought with anybody in the house except Keanu, so she's got to find some reason. Everybody seems to like her. Zach seemed annoyed with her, but nobody seems angry with her.
Yet.
Yeah.
Give it some time. Let's see.
So far, though, I think that's saying something about her social game, that she can put them on the block and they're sitting there saying, I understand. Nobody's getting upset at this point, even though they were blindsided and didn't have a chance to talk to her.
Well, who does Ava have a relationship, alliance with?
Final
Is
two
it
with
her
Rachel.
and Rachel? That's what I thought.
And her and Will are close. I don't think she's talked any game or made any official alliances. She's just very likable. And that's how she's stayed off the radar, stayed in this house. She's quirky. She's fun. She's off the wall. People just enjoy being in her presence.
And she doesn't have to make these safe moves by putting up the same people all the time. She can go in there and be strong and people still like her.
Gosh, Morgan sitting there going, we don't have pawns up this week. That's right, Morgan. Welcome to Big Brother. This is how the game's played. It's not a weenie game. Shh. And you're a gamer. Come on, get your head in the game. So Morgan's sitting outside with Ashley and Will and complaining about the 3 shields that Ava nominated. What's a shield? Her shield?
That's what I wanted to know. I was hoping you knew what that was about.
Because they're shielding her because she's working with them. Just give it away. Nobody knows what you're talking about, Morgan. You're looking like an idiot. What, is Ava one of the pawns that had someone else been nominated you'd want to go up? Now, Will, he's with Ashley when this conversation happens, but he and Ashley are talking to Mickey. That's the next thing we say. And he's saying Morgan's nervous. She's nervous about the nominations. Mickey doesn't like this. And she says that she's closer with Ava than she is with Mickey. I didn't expect the next part. I did not expect Mickey to go up and tell Ava what Will told her that Morgan said. That probably would have been better coming from Will at some point. I think Will would have told Ava. Will and Ava seem very close. You don't want Ava to think that Will is not giving her certain information. But when you expect the unexpected, that's definitely what you're getting with Ava. Because Ava don't care. She's not playing this crap. If Morgan wants to complain about nominations, then her ass can sit on the block this week. Which pretty much makes Mickey swallow her tongue. She's, what are Zach and Vinny and Morgan gonna think if someone pulls himself off and Morgan goes up? They already think that she had a hand in putting her other 2 alliance members up, and then she goes up to the HOH, and all of a sudden she's talking about Morgan, and Morgan's the replacement nominee. Is Ava just reading the situation really well?
Well, Mickey surely isn't looking at the situation well at all. She's making some bad moves.
She really is. I think we've got some supernatural powers on Ava's side. She is channeling her spiritual advisors, and they are just guiding her through this house. Now, Ava must be the only one that is really seeing Vinny has partnered with everyone, because he keeps saying she blew up his game. So is she talking to the spirits of the Big Brother world and getting the inside about who's partnered with who? I mean, Rachel kind of knew. Is she really blowing up his game?
Yeah, I don't know. There's too many interactions for me to keep track of. I'm sorry.
Vinny, you're not that smooth, dude. You're smooth like X-Lax. Funny, though, it's interesting. He's talking to Vinny about if he wins the veto, which he's won the last 3. He would use it to take Vinny off the block And then Keanu would win Blockbuster and they would both be safe. He says, I know this sounds stupid, and it does sound stupid. Isn't this the Marcellus move from Big Brother 3 where you have the veto and you don't pull yourself off and you go home?
Well, the difference is Keanu would have a second chance to pull himself off with the Blockbuster. I think it's a great plan if it could come together, but there's too many variables and all that could come off.
What if he's up against Kelly and that BB Blockbuster? Kelly has won like 2 or 3 of them.
Or if Kelly gets to play the veto and she wins.
I don't know that Vinny would be the one that I would be wasting that power on. He is playing everybody's game. Now, when it comes to competitions, apparently Kat has not had a chance to prove herself because she's not playing in the HOH every week. What do you mean you don't have a chance? Are you Christmas with a broken leg? What do you mean? You can't prove yourself.
I was thinking more of her social game. I mean, that's what I was thinking when she was talking about that. I was thinking
she's all
she
about
just
her mullet and mustache man.
Yes.
She's
and that she
lost
wasn't
that mullet.
That mustache must be a magnet because their lips get together a lot lately.
Better take that lasso and pull him out of her butt. Or him out of anyway. Kat, just like play the game. Just play the game. Stop making out with Riley and just play the game. I swear those spirits must be talking to Ava, guiding her hand through that box, because she pulls Will and Kat to play in the veto. Will, her probably closest ally, well, besides Rachel, there could be a few, but her and Will seem pretty tight. And then Kat, who, did she whisper in someone's ear? I haven't had a chance to prove myself. Okay, it was Riley, but maybe it was a ghost too, because Ava just guided her little hand right to Kat. I think Keanu has a good chance to win this. I don't know what it is, but...
Can I just make one little observation about what Ava's wearing? She looks like some kind of Russian soldier or something. She's got that big black fur hat, and then she's got this red dress or whatever it is. It's a robe or whatever. She just looks like she's from Russia.
Just needs a bottle of vodka. Ava's got a target this week. And she's right. It's not Keanu, Vinny, or Zach.
I just love Mickey's excuse for Morgan that she was just being emotional when she said that. Nobody cared that Keanu was being emotional when he said he was going to target each and every one of them and take them down. That was an emotional thought too. I mean, I guess that only applies.
Oh, she's being emotional, not logical when she's thinking about putting me up. We should save her. No, you don't want somebody acting out on emotions instead of thinking it through. But Ava, she's not taking it from anybody. She's like, I don't care. I already saved Ashley for you. Will told me that Morgan is targeting me, and this is my HOH. And then she goes and she starts talking to the camera in the HOH room. And she's like, I am so glad that Morgan didn't get picked because I really want to put her up. Which, if she went to Kat and said, hey, Kat, you want to use that veto? I think Kat would do it. I know Will would do it. Ava would do it. And any of the noms would do it. I think Morgan's made a pretty strong case for herself to go home. If you're going to complain about who's on the block, you can go on the block. I love it. She is so no nonsense. Sticking with her spirit guides on this one. Let the universe guide her. I mean, she's almost to the point where people aren't even questioning her because they can't. I don't know that I've ever seen it where they're not able to question her. She just shuts them right down. Have you ever seen an HOH like this?
No. And I just can't believe that Mickey keeps digging herself further and further in the hole. It reminds me of that saying, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Because she has been deceiving, but she keeps tangling up that web.
It's like when Jake gets a shovel in Minecraft and he just digs all the way through the earth and then falls out of the world. That's about to be what happens to Mickey. So we got the veto competition. These are some of my favorite ones. They're like the white elephant gift ones. Once you get out, you get to pick a present, in this case, a briefcase. You open it up and you get a present, but you don't necessarily get to hold on to it because the next person can either pick your present or pick a different present. We do this every year at Christmas, my friends and I. Last year we got a blanket and a sub container.
My thing is with this white elephant, you always have to choose a certain case. They should choose whatever case they want to. But they have to go with like in an order, I believe.
I didn't realize that.
Well, I could be wrong. We could watch
The
it and see how it plays out.
The first briefcase that was opened up, Will got to open it up, and it was the Golden Power of Veto. It was the very first one. And the reason he got to pick it is because they're playing this shuffleboard game. They have a hockey puck, and they slide it across this cracked up street. And before they go up there, it flashes a picture of the board. But that comes away, and you just see a street before you slide. So you have to kind of remember where the numbers are, and you have to try to get it to the highest number. So it's a little bit of memory, a little bit of physical comp. Strategy. Person with the lowest score is out. It was Catherine for most of the game, and then Will came up with a 13. He just wants to make sure he wins something good because he's tired of being in the house with these kids, driving him crazy all summer. They just need to get out of the house. I have a feeling he won't be holding on to that veto. So fingers crossed he doesn't get a chicken costume.
Yeah, a leotard.
Well, in a leotard. So the boards change every round, and in this second round, there is a big spot on the end of the board that is number 46. So that looks like a good target area. The only thing is if you go off the board, then you basically have a 0. Zach goes for it and gets it. Pat goes for it and gets it. Keanu tries to go for it. He ends up with 17, lowest score. And he gets a pretty interesting prize. It's the partners in crime. He and a partner get to try to steal $100,000 from the Big Brother bank. And hopefully they don't get caught. It's a little crime in the mystery house. Of course, he's going to trade all that chance at $100,000 and for a chance at $750. He's on the block and he's going for Will's Golden Power of Veto. Now let's be real. Somebody's going to take it from him. Would I have blamed him if he kept it? No. Could he end up with something better? Yeah. What do you think? Did he make a smart move?
Yeah, because I don't think anybody's going to win $100,000.
But somebody will want the veto.
And he definitely needs the veto. But somebody will take that from him.
So he'll end up with the Chicken George costume.
That's the sweetest thing.
Yeah, this is real. I got a little misty-eyed right now. If you're watching on YouTube, I think Mama C did too. I'm sorry. Will started crying and it got to me. Was going for a big number again in this next round, and it slides off the table. So he goes up. He gets a trip to London, and he's saying how Will is like a dad to him in the house, and he's been talking to somebody in this game, and he knows that they'd love to take their chocolate job on a vacation. So he's going to go for Will's punishment, give him the trip for him and his wife to go on. He knows if he takes the veto, somebody's going to just take it from him, which is exactly what I was thinking. Exactly what I was thinking. And Mama C goes, oh, that's so sweet. And then you see, was it Morgan, Rachel, like every girl sitting there watching the game is going, everybody's crying. I love Will. Sweet. Okay, so Zach, that was smart. He's made a friend in Will this week. And
even though Will was the one who put him up.
Probably won over, well, this is true, but he doesn't know that because Will hid in the bathroom.
That's right.
But he also won over the hearts of all the ladies. Probably won over everybody's heart with that. So Ava is the next one out, and she wins the Butler Challenge, where she has to wear a big booty all week. And she got in a fight with Keanu, so let's just trade that for the Golden Power of Veto and let Keanu be the big butt. So our final two are Vince and Kat. And I guess the universe has spoken. Had to prove herself. Vinny got a 30. She got a 40. And Kat wins the veto. So Vince goes up there and he trades his $5,000 that he won for the power of veto that Ava's holding. And he's just hoping that Kat goes and takes $5,000 instead of going after this veto. Now, Kat, she has her choice of the prizes. She doesn't need the veto. It would make sure she doesn't go up. Or Riley. She might want to keep noms the same. Kat game to play. Vinny is sitting there begging Kat to trade in her hard-boiled costume. It's dressed as an egg, I guess, for the $5,000. Vinny needs this to save him. Please, please, please. Ava is rolling her eyes. My gosh, Vinny, you and your big old mouth, saying anything you need to get what you want. She goes ahead and says, do what you need to do, Kat. And Kat takes the veto. Vinny's going to be dressed like a hard egg. Humpty Dumpty over here. Had a great fall. we're at. Kind of probably leaving nominations the same unless Ava comes up to me and says, let's backdoor Morgan.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I can too.
Oh,
They're
but can I just say
gonna
something?
blame Mickey.
I love saying things about their looks because they just remind me of things. And Vinny, he's got this little goatee, more facial hair growing, and he would make a great cowboy. That detective hat he has on kind of reminds me of a cowboy hat. He'd make a great cowboy. Riley needs to take some lessons from the facial hair of Vinny.
Now, Keanu was giving me kind of Dick Tracy vibes, him and Will. And Mickey, she was hosting this. She reminded me of Carmen Sandiego in her red outfit. I liked those outfits. Those are really cool.
Yep.
I have to say, Will and Ava are two of my favorite players in this house. And to see them having such a good week, it's a lot of fun. Versus smiling on them. Ava's got the $5,000. Will has the trip to London. And Ava is talking to Will in the HOH and saying, Zach's a good kid. Let's see if Kat will use the veto on Zach. And I'm going to pop Morgan up on the block. And she claps her legs together, says, boom. Will said, you so stupid.
Yeah.
But she's not a weenie. Got my weenie whistle. So Zach picks Rachel for his let's try to steal $100,000 from the BB Bank challenge. Super fun. He picked a superstar. And there's these bags in a vault outside. There's also little jailhouse set up with little jailhouse toilet. But basically, a lot of these bags have blue dye and explode. 4 of them have $1,000. So $100,000 total. And they have all night to try to figure out which 4 bags. Now, if they get one that explodes, they have to go sit in jail until they hear police sirens. So it's going to be a race against the clock to try to find that $100,000. Going to be a long night.
Yes. And I thought they were going to have to do this in secret where the house guests couldn't see. But obviously they can all sit out and watch what's going on if they want.
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought they would be sneaking around at night. But no, this is just in the backyard. Everybody's hanging out watching. So everybody stays up as late as they can to watch Rachel and Zach try to steal the $100,000. And they get a bag. Then they get 2 bags. They look like they're doing pretty good. Then it looks like they really have to get down to the last 3 before they find that last $25,000 bag. I was thinking maybe they would get to split it or something, but it was just a silly competition. They looked like they were freezing cold at the end, maybe more so than they actually were because the dye was blue. It was turning them literally blue as they're shaking. They didn't look well.
Well, they did call it a punishment. So after watching it, if they had found the 4 bags earlier, they could have stopped the competition. But I think they had 12 hours in that cage, or the competition lasted 12 hours.
It looked miserable.
The first time they did the little mug shots, they looked so cute. And then by the end, they were just like pitiful.
Matted and blue. Their skin looked blue. It did not look healthy. Ashley, Will, and Rachel are talking outside, and Ashley lets her know about a little conversation she's hearing between Vinny, Zach, Morgan, and Mickey. Basically, they want Rachel to get to jury to pick the winner, but they don't want her to get very far. And this does not take too kindly with Rachel. She's here to win. There's a real risk Morgan could go home this week. I haven't seen Ava talk much with Rachel, though. They have a final 2, but it wouldn't surprise me.
And you're sure that Ashley mentioned Mickey in that? Because if she did, it's just very funny that Mickey is trying to protect Ashley, but then Ashley is throwing Mickey under the bus with Rachel.
But Ashley feels closer to Rachel. And she should because Mickey has that final 4 with Morgan, Zach, and Vin, which is where these blurry lines Licky Mickey has drawn are getting messy. Rachel could have the numbers, though. I think you can get Mickey over to your side. You've got Will. You've got Ava. You've got Ashley. Lauren, Kat, and Riley are kind of wild cards on their own island. And Rachel get in the pantry where everybody has their hush-hush meetings. Not that I think they were going to have a hush-hush meeting. I think they were just going to get some snack. And Morgan starts trying to flip the house on the showmance. Flip the house on Riley and Kat. Rachel, you know what that's like to have a showmance in the house. And I want to see you get to jury. Not the right thing to say, Rach. You didn't mean to say get to jury. You mean it because you've been saying it behind her back. But you didn't mean to say it to her face. Oops, and you did. You don't think she understands. Rachel, I didn't mean to say to your face that I want you to go to the jury. Rachel goes off. She says, you are not going to underestimate me. You are going to put the crown on my name. You can go run and tell your friends that I know who I'm going after now. I'm not making it to jury. I'm making it to the final 3. I have won this game. I have played with better than you, and I have heard better than this. She walks out, and she leaves Morgan speechless until Morgan gets into the diary room, and then all of a sudden her voice comes back. Morgan, you're looking pathetic. And I know that she was my choice from the beginning, but she's reminding me more of a Goomba than a Luigi. Gamers, you might know what I'm saying. She's one of Bowser's buddies. What do you think, Mama C?
Well, I'm Big Stupid Luigi. My moniker is on Nintendo, so don't ask
Jake
me.
Changed all of our names to something unreadable. No, it's because Mama C always plays Luigi, and she fumbles a little bit. Not a lot. You might be good at the games, Morgan, but Rachel is the top of this game. You're in the Olympics now. I don't think you've been training. Keanu has. I don't think Morgan did. So Rachel is a smart player. She goes directly to Kat and says, I just got in a fight with Morgan in here, and she's talking about targeting you and Riley. And then Kat goes up and talks to Ava, and they have this girls goggle, and they're kind of saying it would be Morgan without saying, yeah, it would be Morgan. At the end of the day, Ava says it's your veto. Do what you want with it. And Kat chooses not to use it. So Zach, Vinny, and Keanu are left on the block. Zach didn't want to give that $10,000 up either. They're going to be playing in the Blockbuster tomorrow. We might be getting a bad egg out of the house. I think Vinny's going to go.
Well, Vinny would go if it's between him and Zach. If it's between him and Keanu, I don't know. I love Keanu, and I'm hoping that Keanu wins the Blockbuster because I want him to stay in the house. I really like him a lot.
I like Keanu too. Yeah, I want to see Vinny go. I want to see Vinny go. But I want to see HOH, Ava, go far because it's exactly what I expected from her HOH week. She didn't take anybody's lip. She did what she wanted to do. She ran that house. I've never seen anyone run a house like Ava without being questioned.
Yeah, so, I mean, she put up no pawns. She risked. She took big risk.
And I still don't feel like there's that big of a target on her back. I feel like other players had targets painted even bigger on their backs. That was really a treat from the universe. So thank you, universe, for Ava this week. And let's see who she gets out of the house tomorrow. All right. Channel surfers, we will see you tomorrow with the Big Brother Live eviction. Make sure you like and subscribe. And thanks for listening. See you later. Let's ride.